Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. It's the first post-game show of the season for Razorback football. Welcome. Hope you guys all have had hope you had a good week and your Saturday. Listen, Alabama lost. What more can you say? Texas lost. I'm sorry. I know they were playing Ohio State, but still, it's not been a terrible day. The Razorbacks getting off to a slow start. We're going to get into all that here in just a second. Before we do, make sure you guys like, share. Please, sharing is caring, and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new and hit the notification bell. And when you do, make sure you click for all alerts. All alerts. You want to be you want to be here. We got got a pretty loaded show here for this post game. I say loaded. I mean, there's certainly plenty to talk about, especially how things started off for Arkansas. And then how things, got going there. Arkansas bounced back, played their game. Now, we got to give away the gold chain. We got to give away this bad boy right here. Who's going to get the post game? Who's going to get the post-game gold chain, baby? So there is a poll. Feel free to take the poll. Omega Blake, Taylon Green, CJ Brown, and Shakir Smalls. Those are the people that made the gold chain or the poll there. Bell should get it. Oh, yeah, Bell, yeah. Didn't look at all of his numbers, but Bell certainly, he could be a weapon, man. Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. Again, for anyone who's just joining us, again, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Get in here. Let's have some fun. It's back, baby. College football's back. Thank you, God above. We are so back. Football season is. I'm not saying the Razorbacks are so back. You guys tell me what you thought. I got to say, this is weird doing this without headphones on. I feel like I need to put my headphones on. This is weird. This is the first live I've done without my headphones. Should I just put them on so I feel better? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's so much better. Because you can kind of hear a little bit of the you hear your voice louder. I don't know. For anyone who's ever done anything like this, you get it. You're like, no, I get it. Going. I feel naked without my headphones on. Okay. We're in the zone now. Yeah, again, the poll right now we have Omega Blake, Taylon Green, CJ Brown, Shakir Smalls are on the who gets the gold, the post game gold chain. That's your poll right now, and Taylon Green is in the lead at 54%. You guys are going to help me out with this. Again, if you've never been to these post game shows before, we do this every post game after our Arkansas gets the win. We do a gold chain. MVP of the game. I got to say, Taylon Green, especially as the game went on and he was given time, did you guys notice in the beginning, on that opening drive, he goes 4 for 4, and he's absolutely he looked pretty dialed in. But then as the first quarter progressed, here comes the pressures, right? I think in that opening quarter alone, he had at least 3 to 5 pressures. Now, I'll be curious to see what Pro Football Focus has to say about that, going in on some of their numbers. But it certainly looked like, oh, boy, here we go again. The offensive line is absolute crap. Here we go. And they did get better as the game went on. As the opening half went on, it got a lot better. Ed Cole says Alabama isn't Alabama. Oh, my goodness. What's up, SLR, Sports Live Reaction? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all that you do. Shout out to everybody. Again, check out all the links provided for you down below. Maybe consider joining Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon. Help support the channel. I do this on purpose. I don't have a lot of sponsors. When we're live, there's no ads, so I'm not making any money off the live. But a way you can help the channel out is by joining Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon. It really helps keep the ship afloat. Let's not forget on Monday, we will be back also. Monday we're going to have the Monday Night Lights live show, and hopefully we'll have Tim alongside me for that. Yeah, I appreciate you, SLR. I see you, buddy. I see you. Sharing is caring, and again, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Yeah, as that first quarter went on, I was making notes. I was writing down notes. The pressures were there, and then on the other side too, the defense looked. Let's just be real. Even though they didn't give up a ton of points, I think we were all pretty damn nervous about what was going on with the defense. It looked too easy in the passing game for Alabama A&M. Their opening drive, so Arkansas, Taylor Green on that opening drive goes 4 for 4, 41 yards, and a 16-yard throw to C.J. Brown for a touchdown. By the way, C.J. Brown coming into his own here. He's starting to look like another go-to receiver. That's the question, right? How many go-to receivers are they going to have this year? No more just one receiver. That's not how this offense works, man. If you want to put up points, you got to find different targets in this offense. You got to get tight ends involved, your slot receivers, the boundary. Like everyone needs to be you need to have a threat at any given position, any skill position guy, your running back, a little bit in the passing game, the infamous Bobby Petrino wheel routes. But anyways, on that opening drive, Green also would have the 11-yard run. But Alabama A&M responds with a 7-play, 75-yard drive. And that at that point, I think we were all like, oh, no, this could get ugly. Let's not overreact. Of course, no. Tusk Talk Discord didn't overreact. Nobody did. Everybody was, they were being patient. Yeah, right. They were all being patient. My ass. Everyone was overreacting. Twitter was overreacting. Facebook, my group chats, DMs, everyone was overreacting. Let's be real. But I was also a little like, oh damn, they really need to lock it up, and they did. As the game went on, as the first half went on, the Arkansas defense responded. We saw them go zero coverage. We saw some pretty heavy blitzing, trying to get into the mind of that quarterback. They were getting more and more physical with the A&M quarterback. So it was good to see that they had that in their arsenal and they used it a little bit. The other thing, too, is and why you don't want to overreact too much, even if it is Alabama A&M. By the way, a lot of new stuff going on with Alabama A&M as well. Arkansas didn't exactly know what to expect. But another thing is we know they didn't open up the playbook. I mean, let's just be real. This was probably a lot of, I don't want to say bare bones on both sides of the ball, but they were definitely holding back, I'm sure. And I wonder if Pittman gets asked that in his postgame presser. But there's no doubt that they were holding back a little bit, and they still were able to find themselves, settle in, and start making plays. That was good to see. I don't care who the hell you're playing against. I mean, let's be real. We've seen Arkansas play really shitty against some really bad teams and find ways to either make those games closer than they should be or, God, the worst of the worst, losing those games. Right now, Alabama A&M's not exactly, some of those teams that beat Arkansas that are not Group of Five or not in the same, on the same level, same division, whatever. But it was good to see that Arkansas bounced back. First quarter grade though, I was doing this and I didn't grade the fourth quarter, but the first quarter I gave the Arkansas offense a C+ in the opening quarter. Alabama A&M had 2 tackles for loss, a sack, along with 3 other hurries. So I've got it down as 3 hurries in the opening quarter on 9 of those throws by Green. The defense got a D. And I don't know if I want to make that like a D- or a D+ because they did kind of settle in a little bit in the first quarter. It's not like they gave up a lot of points. I say the first quarter, really it was the second quarter. But they had 0 hurries, 0 sacks, 0 tackles for loss. Wide receivers were getting open pretty easily. They were finding spots in the secondary to get open. If not for self-inflicted wounds in the opening quarter, Alabama A&M could have inflicted more damage, either eating up more clock, keeping the Arkansas offense on the sidelines, or worse, they could have scored more points. Alabama A&M had, I think it was 4 penalties in the opening quarter. And then they had that block in the back penalty, which, oh my God, what a killer for them. Mental mistakes. I mean, you can argue that in the opening quarter, Alabama A&M beat themselves. It wasn't Arkansas necessarily. It was Alabama A&M making mistakes, and that's what makes you a little nervous, right? That's what makes you a little nervous. Like if that's hell, I don't care if it's Memphis, if it's Ole Miss, if it's obviously Notre Dame or anyone else. I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't know that they're going to have as many self-inflicted wounds. I don't know if they're going to have as many penalties. I don't know if they're going to have the mistakes that Alabama A&M made in their secondary. So many gaps in their secondary. Taylor Green was able to pick them apart. I think Green completed, please correct me if I'm wrong, I think he completed 7 of his first 10 throws, which that's always good. You can get a decent idea of what a quarterback is capable of in the first half of a game based on his first 10 throws. Or even not even just 10 throws. If he's got the ball in his hands, either he's running it or throwing it, right? You can make a pretty good idea. You get a pretty good idea of what he's going to do, at least for that, maybe that quarter or that half, just kind of where he's at. But so the second quarter, I grade Arkansas much better on offense. In fact, on both sides of the ball. Start off much better with busted coverage by Alabama A&M. Green's hits sharp for a 35-yard touchdown on 3rd down and 5. They're making plays on 3rd down, you guys. That's also good to see. I gave them an A- in the opening quarter, and I gave the defense a B-. They gave up 0 points. They had 2 tackles for loss. I don't think they had a penalty in the second quarter, talking about the defense. But, yeah, and then as the game went on, obviously the third quarter really strong for Arkansas. There's a lot here to kind of pick apart. I think the key is for the fans who are still not satisfied, I think you need to look that they were able to recover. They were able to recover and then just completely grow that lead out. And it's not like, again, we've seen teams that we thought were pretty good, Arkansas anyways, that we thought Arkansas was pretty good. And then they struggle to recover. They end up, not putting up as many points on the board, or their defense, it becomes a shootout, right? We've certainly seen that before. In Arkansas, they did a good job overall. They recovered quite nicely. Green looks like he's taking a step forward, his skills, 404. Didn't look like he was throwing to a predetermined guy like he was last year. Yeah, we know he had a lot of faith in Armstrong. We know that he had a lot of faith in Armstrong, and we saw every bit of that, right? And this was different. This felt different. He was finding different targets. I don't remember what he did against Pine Bluff. I don't know if he hit as many different targets, but as the year went on, though, obviously Armstrong was the guy. He had so many more targets compared to the next guy up. God Gang says you could definitely see Green's work from this offseason. The key is he's got to do this. We've got to see consistency week to week. Like Stephen Hamner from QB Spotlight said on Friday's live show, go watch it. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Listen to what he says. It's keeping that consistency. It's something that he's kind of struggled with. And let's not forget, he threw how many touchdowns against SEC opponents, right? He didn't exactly light the scoreboard up in SEC play. There's still there's a lot still to grow on, I think, but it is good. I think we did see. I do think they look sharper. And I'm going to be honest too. This felt more. It felt more like a Bobby Petrino coached offense. It just felt like there were guys running wide open all over the damn field. There were just guys running wide open again. I know it's Alabama A&M, but it's just, you love to see it, and I hope they can keep going. Taylor Green is going to be awesome, says Ed Cole. He just needs protection. He can pick apart defenses and has very good senses. Yeah, there was a couple times where I don't know if Corey Robinson missed a block, but I saw someone come off the edge. I want to say it was in the early part of the third quarter, and Taylor Green immediately sensed it and took off and made a play. So I hope he can keep that same energy up and when it matters against better opponents. You're no matter what you think of Arkansas State, you're about to play a step up, right? You're about to play someone who's a step up. James Swope, what's up, man? There's a legendary status member right there. Let's go. The biggest improvement was him reading the defense before snap. Yeah, you wonder, did the VR thing, did it help him out? Because I think that it did. You could see Petrino all over it. Yeah, it's different seeing him up in the box, wasn't it? It was different. The 53-yard field goal. Yeah, I take back what I said about Starzyk. I wasn't really sure what to make of what was going on with the kicking game. And not only that, I know it's extra point. You're expected to make the extra points, but it's such a nice stat line to see Starzyk 100% on field goals, which was, the one field goal attempt, the 53-yarder. It's good to see that with the 53-yard long under his belt. And 7 for 7 on extra points. It's just a good stat line. It's just nice and neat. I love it. Yeah, Devin Bell Punted for 4 times for 182 yards, averaging close to 46 yards per punt. He had 2 that landed inside the 20. His longest punt was 56 yards. Yeah. Again, there's the other thing too that matters so much, and it's a good sign. 0 turnovers. You got 12 opponents, man. When we want to bring up the opponent, you got 12 opponents, and we have certainly seen this Arkansas team against really bad teams, either not get a takeaway or turn the ball over once or twice. No turnovers. They had 2 takeaways. 3 penalties for 20 yards. You want to talk about what's well coached? That's something you're going to look at. And I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that I'm all, Pittman, they're going to go 10-2. Pittman's the greatest. I'm not saying that. But they did look after that opening quarter, especially after the opening quarter, that just looked like Arkansas looked like a pretty well-coached team. They didn't make very many mental errors. Running backs did struggle to block. I noticed that. I think Washington, maybe I saw him whiff on a block, and it looked like Braylon Russell may have whiffed on a block as well. Or they just kind of forgot their assignment. And there's one point, Taylon Green, coming out of the RPO, decides to keep it, I think going over the left side of the line of scrimmage. And Platt did something wrong, and Taylon Green was chewing his ass out. I'm here for that, man. I am here for that. Like, yes, be a leader. And when someone messes up, I think he probably missed either, I don't know if he picked a wrong gap or if I don't really know. Platt did something wrong. Maybe he just missed a block, but Green was on him, and you love to see that. It's so great to see. Tay looked like old Tay in the first quarter. Ain't gonna lie, Hogs had me nervous when I turned the game on and saw it was tied up at 7. Said Sharif, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Again, you guys make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're new here, come support your boy. It's the best post-game show on YouTube. No matter if you're listening, watching, this is it right here, baby. Let's look at this poll. What are you guys at right now? Taylon Green is the heavy favorite at 60%. That's quite a few votes. If you haven't taken quite a few of you haven't taken that poll yet, so take it. But he is way out in front. C.J. Brown at 4% and Shakir Smalls at 2%. Smalls was on there because he was the leading tackler. He had a TFL with a sack, and he had a pass breakup. You could have probably added Xavion Sori. I don't think he played a ton. Again, we'll get the PFF report. We're going to go over all this stuff on Monday. We're going to get a better picture painted for us. We're going to look at some of the inside numbers and get some more opinions. But I'm going to side. I think I'm siding with you guys here. The post-game gold chain, this bad boy right here. It's got to go to it's got to go to Taylon Green. It's got to go to Taylon Green. So I'm going to put on. It's the old. Oh, I can't do it with the. Can we make this work? Oh, there we go. So I'm wearing that on behalf of Taylon Green. This is much lighter. That chain is like 20 pounds. I don't know. It's heavy as hell. And it is so hard to do a live with that thing around. So we're going to use this instead. But congrats. This is this bad boy's going to Taylon Green. Taylon Green, first game of the year. Taylon Green, first game of the year. He wins the Tusk Talk with Ty post-game live show gold chain. Christopher Cox, what's up, man? It's been a while since I've seen you in here. Washington almost broke on a couple of runs. He did. Yeah, there was one run you could tell he was really upset at the end. It was looked like maybe a 12 or 13-yard run, but he was going to bust it open. He was. And I was thinking after that, I was like, oh, he's gonna do it. They're gonna let him do it, and they didn't. Now he did come out in the second half, and he did run the ball at least once or twice. Pulled pork Pittman. Okay, should have went for it on 4th and 2 while up 45-7. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Let's scroll up here. Washington is gonna be crazy. He just needs better run blocking. He is a lethal weapon. There's a couple of times, no more than a couple. There were gaps. He didn't do that all on his own. The offensive line did a pretty good job opening up some pretty big running lanes. They just didn't. They ran it 40 times, But between Washington and Braylon Russell, I think they both had between the two of them, 15 carries in the opening half? Between the two of them? Let's go down the numbers. Let's go down the individual stat numbers. First off, Alabama A&M, Cornelius Brown goes 9 for 19. He actually, on his opening drive, he also went 4 for 4 and had some success. Maurice Edwards would have the touchdown on that drive. But he would go 9 for 19, 130 yards. Eric Hanley, who just was in over his head, despite the fact that he threw 60%, but he only had 36 yards on 6 completions. Again, Brown had 130 yards on 9 completions, but combined, the two would go 15 and 29 for 166 yards, averaging just about 6 yards per completion. On the ground, Caden Dixon, 5 carries, 37 yards. He had an 11-yard run, which was the second longest run from the line of scrimmage for Alabama A&M. Isaiah, whose last name I don't even want to try and pronounce. It looks like Quinco, Quinico. I don't know. I apologize. 8 carries, 34 yards. He had a 20-yarder, 4.3 yards per carry. So between the two of those guys, they averaged like 6 yards a carry between the two of them. But Isaiah would only have 4.3, and Caden Dixon would have 7.4, but he only had 5 carries. Maurice Edwards, 6 carries, 30 yards, and, of course, he had that touchdown. Cornelius Brown was -4. Ryan Morrow, 3 carries for -8, and then Eric Hanley, 2 for -20. Yeah, like I said, as the game went on, of course, they're also subbing guys out too. They're subbing in their 1s and 2s for sure, but Arkansas, it was just good to see that, you know what, and something else that kind of stood out was they were swarming better as the game went on. Not a lot of man-on-man tackles. I mean, they happened, but as the game went on, it seemed like Arkansas was doing a better job swarming. It was almost like the communication in the first half on both sides of the ball. Again, something was wrong with the communication in the first half. I mean, maybe I'm tripping, but man, I think that's probably a lot of what it was. Trevonta Abner had 3 catches for 49 yards, and then Jordan Chambers-Smith had 2 catches for 31. Ole Miss right now is a really big play down the field. It's 0-0, 11:21 left to go in the first quarter, by the way. And then in their on defense, Wyatt Wright absolutely chewed up Arkansas. He had 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. But that would be it. That would be all the sacks that they would have. Now, team stats. This is where it's really sexy for Arkansas. Arkansas would go 9 of 14 on third down. Alabama A&M, 1 for 12. That's a really good sign. They would only have 235 yards of total offense, Arkansas with 552. I thought going into this they'd have over 600. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I kind of thought they'd rack up the yards. And 552 is no small number. I get that. So they were close, right? I'm only 48 yards off. Arkansas would end up with 358 yards through the air between 2 quarterbacks throwing the ball. The same with Alabama A&M, 2 different quarterbacks, but they had 166 yards through the air, 15 to 29 combined. For Alabama A&M, Arkansas quarterbacks would go 26 of 36 for 358 yards. 6 passing touchdowns, like I said. That's why Green gets the chain. He connected with, I think in the first half alone, I want to say it was 7 different receivers. And then as the game went on, I think that just with him, I think Arkansas ended up with, 9 different targets or 9 different receivers catching the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Of course, you expect that, right, when you're rotating guys in and out. Yeah, Green picking them apart using different receivers. Like we said at the beginning of the show, that is so good to see. No picks thrown. Green did not fumble the ball. How about that reach out on third down? Was that I think that was a third down play. And he reaches out using that 6'6" frame to get the ball over the marker and to get the first down. Like, that's the kind of stuff he can do. Arkansas would run the ball for almost 200 yards, 194 yards. Yards per rush, 4.9. Alabama A&M, 2.7 off 26 attempts. 7 penalties. Alabama A&M could not get out of their own way. That's for a season opener on the road in an SEC environment, I guess 7 isn't atrocious for Alabama A&M, but it's just not good. And like I said, in the first half, they had 5 of these, I think, in the first half, and the other 2 came in the second half. Arkansas with just 3 penalties for 20 yards. Again, there's a lot here to like other than their really slow start. Other than the slow start, again, it's you hate to see that, but it's understandable, right? It's understandable. A lot of teams play crappy teams, and then they also get off to a slow start. It's good to see them recover. But Arkansas gets the win, 52-7. 33 minutes and 39 seconds is how long they held onto the ball. It's all there, man. It's all looking really good. Y'all watching that Arkansas State game, not going to be an easy win for the Hogs, says Sharif. I don't know what to make of that game yet. We're going to talk about that next week. Monday's going to be a further reaction to this. We're going to go into some deeper numbers. But, yeah, the Arkansas State game is going to be interesting for sure. There's no doubt that's – we know that they're in it. We know that to them they are going to care. They are going to want to make their presence be felt. They're going to show up. Their fans are definitely ready for this. But I don't. Arkansas State should not. I'll just tell you right now, that should not be a ball game. Now, if Arkansas gets off to another slow start, like they did today, yeah, Arkansas State, with the caliber of coaching they have, might be able to do something with that. They got a pretty dangerous quarterback, a guy that's capable. He's at least capable. And that's, so, again, when you watch this game, like, Alabama A&M had such an issue with guys getting wide open in the middle of their defense. That's not going to be the case every week. It just won't. I love A-State, good times. Oh, okay. Ed Cole's a State guy. Yeah, he's good, thank God. But let's see. But for a second, I was like, no. Ant77 says Ole Miss looks sharp. I've got it up on the screen or up on my TV. I'm not watching it though. Obviously, I'm kind of working, but I think Sam wants to spank them hard. But I could just be making it up. You think so? Yeah, listen, I think he understands that he can't lose this game. I think he knows that. Again, Arkansas State, you lose that game, brother, we got a problem. If you lose this game, I mean, I don't know how you recover from that. And like I said, I don't think they fire him coming off the field if that were to happen. I think, but at that point, though, Hunter's pulling him into his office, and he's like I said on Friday's show, he's drawing a line in the sand and giving him, like, now you've got to go out and win like 8 games. And how the hell you do that after losing the state, I don't know. Who is the defensive MVP? That's tough, man. I mean, I liked what little we saw out of Rhodes. Sorry. Well, him too. Quincy Rhodes actually had a sack. But he didn't do much outside of that one sack. I think he had a sack and maybe a couple other tackle or one other tackle, I think. Cam Ball's TFL. You guys saw him just absolutely destroy that left guard. Rest in peace, bro. You just got smoked. You just got obliterated. And Cam Ball, like, that's the equivalent of being that's you getting put on a poster, man. When a defensive lineman that was great. That was great. And I want to see more of that from Mr. All Conference, from possible draft pick. I want to see that from him. Phillip Lee had he had a couple tackles and he had that TFL. I thought maybe he had a quarterback hurry, but I could be wrong about that. Xavion Sori, we only saw him. ESPN says he only had 1 tackle. I don't think that's right. I thought he had at least 2, maybe 3. But yeah, there was so much rotating in the defense. It's tough to nail anybody down. I feel like Julian Neal played quite a bit. Steven Dix played quite a bit. Caleb Wooden and Miguel Mitchell I noticed out there a lot. They didn't give up nothing big downfield. And that quarterback came out. You guys, we sit here and we look at the 52-7 score, and we're like, yeah, you should have done that. But again, Cornelius Brown, the A&M quarterback, came out and looked pretty damn confident to me. And if you would have told me at the end of the game that that'd be the only points they score and that they don't throw for more than 170 yards, I would have been like, no way in hell. They just torched us. They just went down the field in 6-7 plays, whatever it was. There's no way they only score 7 points. They're going to at least get another score or two at minimum, and Brown's going to go deep. They're going to do something here, and they couldn't. And so, man, I can't wait. Like, Arkansas State is a step up, right? Arkansas State's going to be a step up. I don't think it should be a game. I'm not saying it's going to be 52-7 like we saw this week, but you never know. The question mark is how you handle this as, first off, a potential trap game, and then also how you handle them like being amped up for finally playing this game. All the shit talk that's been going on for the past, God, as long as I can remember. I mean, I remember being a kid and people calling into the radio shows asking, why the hell aren't we playing Arkansas State? Yeah, and I know it's not popular with a lot of people either, and I'm not suggesting that it is. I think most fans really don't want to play this game because you have nothing to gain, and I won't say everything to lose, but by God, Sam Pittman, it could be the case for him, right? Which might be another reason why Arkansas comes out and frog stomps Arkansas State. I just don't think this should be a game. I really don't. Yeah, Ole Miss is up 7-0 on Georgia State. 10 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Good little run there by that running back for Georgia State, though. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here. We still got to talk about Arkansas State next week. I don't want to jump into that game just yet. But again, a lot here that I did like. There's some concern, but I think that opening quarter really was them just knocking the rust off. You're playing somebody else. Finally, after all spring camp, summer workouts, and fall camp, you finally get to go out, and it's expected, right? You're going to have a slow start. That wasn't too surprising. I just thought they would recover a little bit quicker in the first quarter. Like, I thought they're going to, they're going to be fine. Obviously they were, but I mean, like in the opening quarter, I thought they're going to put up some more points. And, they got 10, I guess, but yeah, but then they go into the second and third quarter and they just, they didn't stop. The second quarter was the most productive, but the third quarter was still pretty good from both sides of the ball. But 21 points in that second quarter, and Alabama A&M could do nothing to stop it. That's what's supposed to happen, right? That's what's supposed to happen, Ty. This is not supposed to be a ball game. And it wasn't. But it was in the opening quarter, and I get it. That's why people were kind of freaking out. Let me scroll up here. We need to beat Arkansas State by 90, says James Swope. I don't know if that happens or not, but it needs – I could see that being a game that's pretty tough at first, but as that game goes on, you need to take care of business. What's up, Nathaniel Looney? How you doing, man? I'm late here, but real fast. Running backs need to get more into their pass blocks. Thank you, Nathaniel. We talked about that. I noticed that too. It seemed as if they were letting defender get by easy. That is, if you want to ask, like, what's the concern? It is did these guys not know their assignments? I don't think they were getting overpowered. It just looked like they didn't know their assignments. And that stuff you can fix. That stuff, you're going to go into the film room. You bet your ass Bobby Petrino is going to be all over these guys in the film room. They're going to be all over them. Like, what the hell happened? Know your assignment. You're stronger. You're more talented. You're faster. Only thing that worries me about Arkansas State is the quarterback. Yeah, and I think a lot of people would agree for sure. T. Will and Woodson did say that the biggest problem last year was communication pre-snap. There was, I think that's a lot, like I said at the beginning of this, or earlier in this live show. I think that was certainly something I think that was going on. I think there was not communication. And this is something that the propaganda from the Arkansas Razorbacks, like Hogs Plus, it's propaganda, and that's fine. It's necessary. It's fun to consume. It's fine. But a lot of it was, and some of the questions that were asked to the coaches was communication. And I just don't know that they were there. You know what I mean? It was like they hadn't really stepped off the bus and they weren't all on the same page. They looked like they didn't know what they were doing. Like they almost just weren't set. And again, if you're going to point the blame, obviously that's got to go to the coaches to have them ready, right? But at the end of the day, I also noticed they were missing tackles. There was a little bit there where they were missing some tackles. A little concerning. But again, I love the recovery. I love the way they came back and played. Just to further allude to what Ty was saying. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Sam is feeling the pressure. His demeanor has changed, says Mike and them. Do you think so, Mike? I don't know. Like, he seems like the same guy to me. Maybe I need to watch his presser. I realize that, I'll watch that here in a minute. I'm curious what's going on there. I think it's going to be more the same from him. You know what I mean? When you're talking about his demeanor. Omega Blake looks like he belongs in the SEC, says Bobby Johnson. Yeah, he's a yak. He's going to be a yak monster. I mean, you have got to bring him to the ground or he's going to pick up another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards. That's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do. Omega Blake has – and I kind of want to save some of this for Monday's show. If we see more of this against Arkansas State, as the difficulty of the opponent starts to climb and climb and climb, the jury's still out for me on Memphis. I don't think they should be that. I think they've got a lot of questions this year and a lot of missing pieces. But who knows? Maybe Arkansas State's tougher than Memphis, right? I mean, who really knows? Thanks to the portal, God only knows, right? It's God's water. Nobody owns the water. It's God's water. Name the movie. Schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Seems like I don't see much. I see what you're saying, Mike. Not as many. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, he's not. That's fair. Compared to his first couple of years, and what happened 2 years ago is certainly the reason why we're seeing that. Auburn had a slow start too, but they only gave up 3 in the first quarter versus a much better team. Okay, brisket sandwich Pittman. What did I just read? Oh man, I've not heard that one. Oh gosh. Okay. Where was I? Pittman said it best in the postgame interview. Hogs got a lot to work on before next weekend. Yeah, I hope that film shows them a thing or two. LSU's down 3-0. Bro, Clemson's no joke. They could very well be. I mean, saying that they're a playoff contender feels like a no shit comment. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Clemson. This might be a defensive game. I felt like he trusted the O-line and stayed in the pocket. Well, he did. That's actually a really good observation, Lake Show. I love that by you. Very good. I agree. I noticed that too, and I have it in my notes down near the bottom about how often he actually stayed in the pocket. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Like he was surveying the field better. That's a great take. Bro, that might be the take of the night here. He looked comfortable sitting in the pocket, not worrying about having to roll out. He did roll out and make plays. By the way, he made one play out of the pocket, rolling on the run, fires a really nice throw. It wasn't like a dart, but it was a nice, it was somewhere between a dart and a lob throw. I want to say Sharp caught it. I didn't know who it was, but really heads up, great throw. And again, there's another play where he sensed pressure and he went in the opposite direction before it even, he left the guy in the dust. He never stood a chance. I mean, Green just offers you – there's a lot of good there, right? Let's see what happens when he faces some real controversy against a much better opponent. And I think State will be obviously, I think they're going to be better than who they played today. But we got a super chat. Hey, Ed Cole became a Tusk Talker. He joined the membership. Appreciate you, bro. What did Kurt say? If y'all want to, he's throwing up the Discord link. There you go. If y'all want to continue the talk after the live is over, join Discord. Look at him, and he shared the Patreon. I hate that I can't like the post. I can heart it, but I can't like it. Yeah, and I agree, Kerper. Clemson might win it all. Clemson's good. I think Clemson's going to be really good. I could be wrong. Who knows, man? As the year goes on, you just never know. This is going to change week to week. Our opinions, our thoughts, and where we're at with all these teams they're going to change week to week. That's the way this works. Talon is dangerous when passing on the run. That's his strength. Yeah, and I agree. Yeah, it's a lot easier to stay in the pocket when you actually have a pocket to stay in. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm going to have to give you all gold chains. Thank you. The protection got better. And I think that was probably communication. They weren't getting overpowered. It was just them, probably in their own heads. They're nervous. It's game one. Man, y'all are crushing it in the comments tonight. Damn. I'm loving it. FSU will win the ACC. Man, they took care of business against Bama, didn't they? Is Bama that bad, or is FSU that good? Right? I don't know. Ty should get a gold chain for this awesome show. Oh, you're so sweet. Appreciate the comment, man. I'm glad you guys enjoy the show. FSU got Gus. Yeah, that's right. That's true, Lake Show. You are right. Oh my God. This is a great name. This is like a Discord name. By the way, you guys need to join Tusk Talk Discord. Tuzzy Festicles. I love that I just said that. Oh man. Tuzzy Festicles says hope Mike Washington can pick up blitzes better. Kind of whiffed on one. Yeah, again, we talked about that at the towards the beginning. The first 20 or 30 minutes of the show, we talked about that. You're right. Running backs, I think the tight end, I think Platt did something. I don't know. Did you guys see Talon Green chewing out Platt? Because I did. I saw it. Let's go ahead and put an end to the poll while we're at it. Talon Green way out in front. Unless you guys, if you want to take the poll, I'm going to give you your final call here. But he's way out in front, 58%. Omega Blake, knock on wood, but Omega Blake might have future. Like, this cat is living up to that. So far, game one against a bad opponent, I get it, but he is on the right track of living up to that EA calls football 2.6 rating. What was he, like 88 overall or 86 or 88? We're all like, what the hell? He's living up to it, fellas. He's living up to it. Blake's a dog. I could not agree more. Love that dude's fight after the catch. That is unlike most receivers. Well, okay, to be fair, it's not. Like, we know they're going to run the route, catch the ball, and hit the ground or go out of bounds, right? Blake just watch him. He fights. He keeps his feet moving almost like a running back. Omega Man, that's right. Oh, that's good, Mike and them. We need to print the bumper stickers, man. Let's see. All receivers will be nice, but I like Blake a lot. I do too. And I think Sharp certainly showed signs. But Talon Green, 6 passing touchdowns was just, dude, he was feeling it. But I want to see that. Let's see that in SEC play. I know he's not going to throw 6. I know he's not going to throw 6 passing touchdowns in all these SEC games. I'm not saying that, but let's be better from a points per game perspective in conference play. And if they play half as well on the road or at home versus some of these teams, they're going to be in it. They're going to be in a situation where they're in these games. It's just figuring out how to finish it off, right? And that was the problem last year. How many times did we do a halftime live show in the Discord, and I had to say, well, we don't know what to expect in the second half because of what happened last week. They need to put that shit. That no longer needs to be the case, right? They need to be consistent. Again, going back to what Stephen Hamner, a.k.a. QB Spotlight, said on Friday's live show, go watch it. They need to be consistent. And that means from the first drive all the way to the final drive. Be consistent. This team, the offense can be dangerous. I'm still sticking to my 7-5, by the way. I didn't budge off of it at all. You know, Alabama A&M could have scored 14 points. I still feel like I would be at 7 wins. You know, when you walk into these games and you're a team like Alabama A&M, you feel like you got something to prove, right? And they did there for a minute. It felt like, okay, we see you. And then Arkansas saw them and took them a little more serious and drove off into the sunset with a 52-7 win. But it took them a little bit, right? It took them to the second quarter to really figure out what the hell they're doing, and then they went and scored 21 points. Still 7-0, bottom of the first quarter. They're under 4 minutes. Ole Miss. Oh, there's a flag. Ole Miss leading Georgia State 7-0. Yeah, well, I am a little bit. I don't want to say. I'm not saying I'm disappointed. I just wanted to see more of Mike Washington, because again, what little I got to see in spring camp and what we were told all spring, well, definitely fall camp, was that this dude. I mean, he's running 22, whatever it was, miles an hour, 22 miles an hour. He's looking good in practice. He's busting off these long runs. Wanted to see him do that, and we didn't see. Off 9 carries. He did have a 30-yarder. I mean, let's not act like he didn't do anything. He averaged almost 9 yards a carry. For the love of God, we can't be too picky. But I wanted to see him really 12 carries for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. I really wanted to. I wanted to see what the media and what Bobby Petrino and Pittman and the other players, what they were talking about. I really wanted to see that big play, and he almost broke one off. Another one, I should say. Taylon Green had a 26-yarder. We got to see AJ run the ball. He had 3 carries for 11 yards. Braylon Russell had 11 for 41. Braylon Russell looked slow to me. Man, I'm giving you all so much of what I wanted to talk about on Monday, but he did. Braylon Russell looked slow to me. And Washington looked about as far as just as soon as he got the ball in his hands, he looked pretty explosive. I just wanted to see him, finish off one of those with a long run. Let's go ahead and end the poll. All right, look at that. You guys took the poll. Taylon Green. Let's end it. Where'd it go? I ended it. Where'd it go? YouTube just tossed our poll. I don't know where the hell it went. Well, anyways, Taylon Green with a lot of votes ends up at 58%. There it is. Taylon Green, Omega Blake. Yeah, so we did right. I think I was right with giving Taylon Green the gold chain. You guys agreed. Lake Show says TG10 for show. Yeah. I clicked on a YouTube short and spent 20 minutes going down a rabbit hole before I remembered I was watching the live. Oh, man, those YouTube shorts are all over the place on my Tyzilla 83 feed. They're all over the place, dude. It'll go from Roman history to American modern day politics to military stuff. I mean, it's just all over the place. Nerdrotic. Anybody watch Nerdrotic or Critical Drinker? God, I love watching their reviews. They're always so on the nose. I highly recommend, if you're into movies, highly recommend you watch those guys. Taiwan Porter, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing well. Washington also had a 27-yard touchdown catch. That is true. Yeah, the one from KJ Jackson. You are right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he had 2 catches, 26 yards, and he had a passing touchdown. 7 total passing touchdowns, man. Wow. That's good to see. It's good. But now carry that into a team that can actually present you with some issues. That's got at least, even if it's group of 5, doesn't matter, a pretty big step up in terms of talent. Let's see you carry that into, down to Little Rock. Are you guys going? I don't know, man. This feels like a pretty historic moment. A part of me wants to go, even if I probably wouldn't go to the game, but just go to tailgates, go roam the tailgate scene, and then just do a live on my phone, even though I don't like doing that, and I've got all my sponsorship stuff here and everything. I like doing everything from my studio, but there's a part of me wants to go down there just to be a part of it all. Obviously wouldn't go to the game, but yeah, that is true. And I probably, you know what, man, I feel like I should have put Washington on. I just didn't want that poll to be all offense, but I probably should have put Washington. Yeah, damn. So really, he did have over 100 yards total offense, and he did have a touchdown. So we probably should have put him on the poll, but it doesn't matter. I think Taylor Green. You guys agreed that Green was the man. Omega looks solid. A lot of those comments tonight about Omega Blake. Yeah. Took them long enough to make it happen. I'll tailgate. Let's link up. I part of me wants to go. I don't know what my schedule looks like next weekend. A part of me wants to go to that, just to go down there. Oh boy, Kapasky enters the chat. Now we got. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. Well, by the way, shout out to August Patreon supporters. Man, we're getting through the month. We're getting through there, man. And before you know it, it'll be September. It got here quick, didn't it? So shout out to Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you haven't, please consider joining. If you haven't joined already, join. I'm trying not to add more sponsors. I don't want to do more ad reads. I love doing, don't get me wrong, I don't mind doing any ad read, especially when they're paying me. But I would like to keep it where we're at with our one main sponsor and then just have everything else be sponsored by Patreon, by you guys, helping keep the ship afloat, right? So you do that. You help this show out. I don't have to go bringing on more sponsors. And I love Direct Service Overhead. Travis is the man, good guy. He'll do anything in the world for you, and he does good work, by the way. But I don't want to bring on more. I just want to keep Travis and you guys. That's it. That's all I want. So to keep that happening, join Patreon, become a legendary status member, and you get a shot at an autographed card from a former Arkansas player. So yeah. Speaking of Direct Service Overhead, ever had your garage door break at the worst possible time? Yeah, we've been there. That's why Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company, is the go-to company for garage door repair in Little Rock and all of Central Arkansas. They offer same-day emergency service, and they fix everything from busted springs to brand-new installs. These guys show up fast, get the job done, and they actually stand by their work. So don't wait around. Call Direct Service Overhead today at 501-244-3667. Again, that's 501-244-3667. Check them out. Give them a call, or you can look at their website, directserviceoverhead.com. Your garage door will thank you. So, oh, Lord. Georgia State is driving. Oh, man. Well, I think we're going to call it here. I'll be back on Monday at 6:30 p.m. Again, hit your notification bell. Make sure you're subscribed. Looking forward to it. Monday's going to be exciting. In that week, we're going to, on Wednesday, either Wednesday or Thursday, we'll go live and we'll talk about their next matchup with Arkansas State and kind of do a rundown, if you will. Get the likes up. Ricky's right. Get the likes up. You need a streaming van with all your stuff that's mobile to go tailgate, says Jonathan McKinney. I've got a little black Mitsubishi. I can't fit anything in there. I couldn't fit any of my lights. I got this big giant light in front of me. That thing wouldn't fit in my car. I guess it could. Yeah, that's actually how I got it here. Yeah, I could make it fit. I can make it work. Maybe I'll go stay down in Conway with all the Conway folks. We've got a lot of them in here. We've got a lot of people in that area that watch this show, and they're in Discord. So maybe I'll come stay at your place. How about that? You got a place for me to stay the night, so I don't have to Airbnb or sleep in a motel or sleep in my car. Again, I probably won't. I don't know if I'll go. I like being here in my studio and being able to do all this here. But I don't know, man. This feels like it could be their – I don't know if it'll be their last game in Little Rock or not, but there's a possibility it could be. And you're playing Arkansas State. Even though it's not a big deal, it kind of feels like a big deal. Gary Davis, what's going on, man? Talon looked very sharp, says Gary. Still playing too damn far off the receivers. A Hog staple. I love that you pointed that out because I don't know how often I'm told that, and I think you're right. Corners always back off the receivers. Is that to make up for lack of speed? Like, why do they feel the need to do that so often? And failure to contain at defensive ends. Yeah. They look like, again, Alabama A&M looked like they could get something going. They had a little bit of speed. They had some guys that had some speed. It's definitely a big deal, Ty, says Lake Show. Well, a lot of people say the opposite because it's Arkansas State. You know, it's a group of 5 school. But and they don't really care the fact that it's an in-state school, you know. But I agree with you. I think it's a pretty big deal. Bo Branscombe says Omega Blake is going to be a problem. Bro, we've been all about him this whole show. We've been all about Omega Blake. Absolutely. Yeah. I can't wait. And I want to see, too. Here's the other thing. I want to see the next wide receiver up. You know what I mean? Like if it's Omega Blake, then who else is it? Who's the other guy? We didn't get to see Rohan tonight. We didn't get to see him catch. I don't think he was targeted once. We saw 2 different tight ends get targeted and catch the ball. But that was it. Ty Manny wants to know, Ty, how is this game different than last year's Arkansas Pine Bluff? That's a good question. They didn't score on every drive like they did last year. They got off to a slower start. Arkansas Pine Bluff was really, really bad last year. These guys weren't as bad. I mean, to be honest, that's difficult to answer. I just felt like you want to say all the new faces too. Like last year you had a lot of guys that were carryover from the year before, even though they were new in the Petrino system. But you had several guys, especially your skill position guys, that had been here the year before. So they had a year under their belt in the SEC, even though some of them came from small schools. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. That's a tough question to answer. I don't know. Let's get the. Oh, he says he's meaning the likes. Yeah, smash the like button. Trying to get us right at an hour. I want to end it right at an hour. So we got like 2 minutes here on my screen. On your screen, you're probably like 10 seconds behind me. But Bo Branscombe says, I'd love to see Omega Blake and the kid from Warren with a year under his belt on opposite sides. Yeah. Taiwan Porter says Jones was wide open one play, but TG still threw a touchdown pass on that same play. Yeah, there was someone running like wide open, but Green was running in the opposite direction. They were playing the replay, and I didn't catch what number it was. He was wide open off the left side of the line of scrimmage. He's just wide open. It looked like nobody was near him, but Green rolls out and makes a play the other direction. But I think that means so many of these guys were open. You're going to miss somebody open because so many of them were running wide open. From my perspective, and I'll try, damn it, I did not DVR the freaking game, so I'm going to have a hard time. I'm not going to be able to watch every single snap. I'm going to have to watch War Machine's highlight, which I love War Machine. He's in our Discord. Love watching his videos, but I like having him on the DVR so I can go back, and watch the entire game over, which is typically what I do on Sundays. So I don't think I'm going to have that ability, but I'm going to have to look. I don't know. I've got YouTube TV on the PS5, so maybe I could still go back and watch it. But maybe I can rewind it because I haven't closed it out. But anyways, there were so many receivers it looked like they were running so wide open that's going to happen. He's going to miss somebody because someone else is running a seam or a crossing route, and they're wide open off the right, but you've got someone else over here wide open. So I hope it's a good problem to have. And then it's just about making the right connection with the right player who can do the most damage on that given play, right? So I don't know. Can't you replay stuff on ESPN? I have no idea, Megan. I usually just throw it on the DVR and I go back and rewatch it. So, anyways, all right. Look at that. We hit an hour. Boom. All right. I appreciate you guys. Again, on your way out, like, share, hit the subscribe button. Congratulations, Taylor Green, getting the first post-game live chat or live show, Gold Chain. Really excited. Football's back, you guys. Oh, my God. I scarfed down some honey bar or some barbecue wings, drink a beer, and I'm ready to watch the rest of hopefully Ole Miss struggle against Georgia State. Y'all, it's still 7-0, and they're in the second quarter. I mean, yeah, Georgia State's a step above Alabama A&M, but let's hopefully Ole Miss is this way the whole game. Another game I want to watch because I want to watch their new quarterback. Anyways, all right, that's it. I appreciate you guys. I will see you on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Some of you've got a long weekend, so I hope to see you on Monday. You guys be good, and I'll see you on the next one.